Welcome back, folks. My name is Artie. I'm joined here by Rio, who's on that side. I learned how to point, and we are going to be jumping in to No Name versus Grief Party. Rio, catch us up to speed on these two teams.
Grief Party's really been kind of coming out. MXKX is somebody that I'm really impressed every time I watch his aim practice, aim training. He's able to just kind of hone in on them. And then NoName we actually just saw play, and they really kept running up against a wall against Birds. So I'm curious to see if they're able to kind of, pun intended, break through the wall of Grief Party and kind of show us what they've got, because they've made it this far. They definitely have talent. They definitely have skill. And I think that they're just going to run up to a really tough team, which is Grief Party. So I think that this will be probably one of the more charged matches we're going to see today. Just two teams really fighting to get back into that last spot.
Exactly. No name. I think it could have been the time. It could have been,
Mm-hmm.
the time difference. Yesterday, they obviously did a lot of work to end up where they did today in the winner's bracket. But that last game was just so difficult to watch, given the fact that they
Yeah.
could not find a way to get activated. But this time, going into this next one, remember they're up against Grief Party, who has been running heavy, medium, light. Perhaps
Mm.
they are better trained against fighting light players. However, I kind of doubt that. I think that if anything, they're used to playing against other MMH squads, given the fact that they are an EU team. But for No Name, they really have to figure out one thing, and that is, how do you work with your team to prioritize? Because they did not look like they were prioritizing anything in that last one.
Yep.
If you're fighting MMH, can you single out the heavy? It depends. Is the heavy in a spot where he's just going to get insta-res, or are you going to be able to protect that trophy and make sure that that heavy's not coming back? Let's take a look at the maps here. We got Sis Horizon, Las Vegas, Skyway Stadium. I feel like I've seen this one before. Very, very obvious pick here, given the fact that MXKX, his squad does not want to run on Monaco if they're running a light. Soul being banned, neither here nor there. Kind of expected at this point. Starting on Sis Horizon, though, this is Grief Party's best map, hands down.
Yeah. And I'm just curious, have we seen any map on Monaco today? I can't
No,
remember any.
we
Yeah,
have not
it's
had
a
a
kind of a
single
shame.
Monaco.
But like you said, Sis Horizon's always fun to watch. Las Vegas, great map to follow, and Skyway Stadium, kind of the variations are a lot of fun on that one. So Sis Horizon will be actually perfect because it will showcase which team kind of has that like gusto behind them to kind of take it and run with it. And I think that when we saw Grief Party on it earlier, they did have a nice dominance on it. So I think that this is going to be a pretty charged map.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty fun to see, given the fact that no matter what happens, Grief Party has just been locked in today. And even
Yep.
if No Name has fixed all the issues, right? Even if No Name has understood the problem and is ready to fix it, they're up against a completely different kind of monster here, because Grief Party wants that in. And this is for everything. This is for the qualify into the Masters event. Everything is on the line right here. And for No Name, they already just lost against Burt, who they were tied with previously. So now everything matters here for No Name.
Yeah, and I think that we will see that kind of when they go to fight, because both teams know how important these next matches are, and I will be surprised if we see anything like the Birds fight that we just did. I think that both teams are going to probably bring it pretty hardcore and be ready for good, quick fighting.
Exactly, because hey, if Grief Party can just enter here in Qual 4, jump right in, and just get that qualification spot by sheer willpower of, hey,
Hmm.
I want to play today, then absolutely they earned their name as the Grief Party, because No Name has put in a lot of effort to get here, but we'll see if that they're going to be putting in even more effort to stay afloat.
And I'm curious if we're going to see any changes on them, because they, like you said, they are running light, medium, heavy, but they might swap it up here. I guess we'll tell when we find. You don't think so?
I
Not a
really
bit.
doubt it. I really doubt it, because with how intense Grief Party is playing that, Carnifex is absolutely locked in on that light,
Mm,
and we've already seen insane plays from Carnifex today, right? I don't
yep.
see a world where Carnifex switches to medium just because they think they need to. And NetX is absolutely hitting with a heavy today too.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah. I remember there was a game that he had over 10 kills and just kind of, whatever he picks up. I think he's running the shotgun. I don't think we've seen the Lewis come out from him yet.
Yeah,
But
it's been
yeah,
SA-12 the whole time.
yeah.
And as we jump into it here, we can see it's going to be heavy, medium, light. We are seeing NoName jump onto the Lewis gun, so it is already going to be the difference. But wait, what is that? Are we also seeing NetX jump on Lewis? This is a first for the day.
Ooh. Okay. And such a strange choice. I figured we would have seen this in Vegas, not on Sis Horizon, because there's a lot of really close fighting that happens here. But maybe they're planning to kind of take this little different route and kind of go slower, get some chip damage away. But yeah, time will tell.
Yeah, and starting off pretty strong glitch barrel in the hands of both teams as they try to find their opener. What I will say, that glitch is going to hit NoName a lot harder than it is going to hit Grief Party, because NoName, they are banking on those heals, but a huge glitch is going to come through, and look at this, Grief Party actually loses 2 off the first fight. The res is going to come through into Vlad, and Grief Party actually unable to keep up with this very first fight. That is a good show here. Carnifex has to just hide away at the side.
Yeah, perfect throw from the glitch barrel. You could see it impacted, at least 2 people, and it did stop the heals. So that was a great play. Probably the best that we've seen so far from NoName.
Absolutely, and we have that side cash out here. The question is, are they going to be playing for the drop and throw? Is it going to be a bounce out to the middle of no man's land, or will they get caught up in time? There it is, Carnifex getting started up. It's MXKX who delivers the final blow. NoName already in danger of getting it stolen. There it is. The steal is almost free for Grief Party here, and now the prospect of it getting dropped and bounced is on Grief Party here. NoName is kind of shocked at what just happened to them.
Yeah, that was so quick. Just a quick turnaround. I don't think that anyone expected that. That was just amazing. 2 people dropped right away from NoName, and then, yeah, Grief Party was able to get in there, get the steal basically for free. We now see that NoName is trying to get reset up. They're coming up on the stairs. We see the red barrel in one of their hands. They're all staying pretty close together, which is a smart move right now. As they get closer to Vault A, I think that they're going to try and break down the wall or maybe throw it at somebody, but really kind of curious why they're taking their time. And now they're making more space, because I think that they've realized that Grief Party is a little bit spaced out. And I think that they can try and get the jump on them. There they are. We see the red barrel come in, gets that heavy shield down.
Yeah, I think Grief Party is able to heal through it, though. They didn't take much damage to begin with. And we are going to see the opening RPG not going to be doing too much damage to either team here. Both teams just kind of evading each other. Oh, Noah goes super, super low here, and the damage that was dealt to MXKX gets healed through. We are going to be seeing Edico get res here. Noah comes back up, but huge RPG damage going to stop him in their tracks as Carnifex. Oh, it was a grenade, frag grenade damage. Carnifex gets the double, the triple, and there we go, NetX to finish it off.
Yeah, that was pretty exciting. I mean, they were able to get the res in there, but as soon as he res, he was just stuck in the middle of 2 different people. And yeah, it just didn't last long. So Grief Party will get the first cash out. Pretty well deserved as well.
I kept turning around with my shield and
Completely
everything.
wild gameplay here, given the fact that Grief Party had so many opportunities to push. But again, this happened last time too. Grief Party so close to actually having a functional team push, and then they back away at the last second because they just don't have the confidence.
Right there, right there. All three.
Well, we see they're getting set up for Vault 2. I think they're going to open it.
I don't have an angle.
And they've got a good distance between the teams, so we're going to see some chip damage happen. Pulls up a gas, throws up the APS on top of the roof.
Only that
Looks like an
APS didn't
KX.
work.
Yeah. Ooh, they actually got some good damage off. I'm curious if this fight takes it.
Yeah, well,
Takes
remember,
them getting down.
NoName does have 2 healers. They have the sustain. Right now, Grief Party is just trying to make sure that they have no sustain left to go. Huge follower notification in the middle of the screen, but check this out. As one medium goes down, they're not going to be in a good position to get the res. As he goes for the res, he gets eaten. Just a heavy left, and that's going to be another team wipe. And that's what I'm talking about. You have to manage how you use your utility. are you going to be dealing damage or are you going to try to go for the res? If you're going to try to go for the res, well, then you need something to block the bullets for you. But the heavy went the other direction. And that kind of shows a clear lack of synergy between the team, given the fact that Vladimir still had his shield up, but instead of going to protect his medium while he was going for the res, he tried to back out of the fight. His medium got eaten.
Yep. Yeah, it's kind of a shame. We do need that synergy between the teammates, and they do seem a little disoriented, and I'm not sure why. They are a big name, and they have made it far, so this is not what I expected from a team like this.
Yeah, I mean, NoName is playing with, you know, a fourth that they might not have had plans for. I know they also have Alfonsi on their roster, who isn't here right now, but, you know, that doesn't kind of disqualify the fact that they are just not really playing together at all. Like, they're playing together like this, but when they move, they're not moving with that same fluidity. Like, you see here, Noah X goes out, his teammate doesn't know how to come through in the right time. They do end up trying to, you know, come out of the woodworks to get the res in, but there's just no time. The heavy just gets caught off guard away from his healers, and Grief Party looks so stable here. To be honest, I don't think NoName even has time for this next steal.
They might have one dive on it, but you know they didn't even make it to the vault.
Look at this!
They got shut down. They got shut down a good distance away, and we're going to see that again. We see that Grief Party is able to kind of shoot and keep them at bay, and they might be able to dive on it.
They can dive on it for sure, but they have to choose between taking the team fight or trying to go for a steal. Insane opening nade here. Two APSs don't do anything if they're not placed where they need to be. Carnifex dealing insane damage. Just as well, the glitch going to be holding them out long enough to where they need to go for the res later. This is all just chipping away at the time, and now it looks like NoName has absolutely none left. All they can try to do is drop it and go for the steal, but the red barrel doesn't hit where it needs to. The drop doesn't happen. There's actually no time left to steal, and that means that even if they win the team fight, it's gonna be Grief Party coming in first here for our first map on Sis Horizon. This is insane to see what's happening to NoName right here.
Yeah, well, and on the flip side, it's just insane to see from Grief Party because they, again, were just kind of a no-name team, pun intended, and now they are bringing it back, and I still am impressed with the aim from MXKX. Like, it's just pretty much legendary, and the ability to switch back from healing and shooting from that FCAR. It's really fun to see. They're like a train that's not stopping.
Exactly. That's exactly what I've been talking about all day, is that they have that synergy down pat. They know when, you know, I got to switch between heals and shooting. They know when, hey, we need to make an opening for Carnifex. And, of course, NetX knows when to hold W key. Hint, it's pretty much always. And they're just able to find these upsets up against NoName. And yeah, I mean, you're so right when it comes to MXKX. It's like I look at my mouse and I'm like, mine can't do that, but his can.
Yeah.
I think it's the hand cam. It's the hand cam that gives the difference.
Definitely. So yeah, I guess the next map was what, Vegas? I believe so. And,
yes.
We're gonna see if Grief Party can keep this party train going, because they are full steam ahead, and I just kind of I want to see more. I want to see more of what they can do, and I think that we're about to.
And remember, Grief Party pulled out the Lewis gun for that. NetX had been on the SA-1216 the entire day, and now on the Lewis gun, just I get activated with it. No worries. And then NoName just doesn't do anything on it. It's crazy to see that all of these things are happening. And I mean, the pro play for the finals is just so good. I'm so excited to jump into the next match. I'm so excited to see what's going to happen on map 2. Hot take, hot prediction, I don't think there's going to be a map 3 here.
Yeah, I mean, I would love to see an upset, because again, I keep coming back to NoName they have skill. They're able to do it. They did make it this far, and they were in the winners bracket in the beginning, and so they should be putting out more than we're getting. It might be the sub in from the new player, but still, you got to be dynamic. You got to play with more people than just your core team. You know, that's why you have sub. That's why you have, more people. So, yeah, I would love to see us get to map 3, but I think I'm going to follow in your prediction as well. I think that we're about to see Grief Party take it.
I think that we're having some troubles getting into the lobby, so bear with us here for just a moment. Think that we could get started up here in just a bit, but I think that they've had a crash once more. Bear with us. But let's go ahead and talk about so Sis Horizon, because we've seen it every single game today, and I am so happy for that.
Yeah, I mean, it's just one of these maps that I don't know. The first time I played it, I was kind of like, "Oh, what is this?" I think the colors kind of threw me off, but it's a very well put together map. It's got the right amount of like spaces. It's got good distance on where you can fight, where you can hold, and I think the cash outs. There's no like crazy cash out in my opinion. You know, like we have the hospital.
I disagree with that. I think there's two crazy cash outs.
Really? Where?
The first is going to be the one that we've seen, I think, 3 times today, which is the fire escape, where you can drop it if you put a jump pad on the wall and it goes out in the middle of the street. The second one, which we haven't seen today, is the one that spawns in the Japanese Zen garden next to campus. That one is out in the open, and it is pretty well defined on how to play for that, which is to set up on top of campus and rain down hellfire from across that sort of open area. And we have seen teams struggle with how to deal with that, both defending and attacking. But when you have a jump pad and an RPG, you could do anything you want on that point. But we haven't seen that second point today. But that first point, it's been very interesting to see teams struggle on how to approach that that stairwell even before it's been dropped out into no man's land.
Yeah, and I think that when I think of like impossible to push, that one's still very open. And yeah, you can move the cash out station by jump padding it, but there's still a lot of ways to approach it. There is that verticality where the enemy team can set up and hold above really high up, but you still have you can loop around, you can come directly on, you can jump pad and get on top of them. There's a lot of options that it's not just like a locked off cash out station, but it does provide a lot of different ways to play. So I think that's just exciting, really kind of a good gameplay. And I
think we're jumping into the match right now. So the match does look like it's gotten started off, although I think we're still on the caster cams out here. One moment, please. Well, I can at least tell you what's going on here. While the game is going through, the first vault fight has actually, it's not really a vault fight. NetX died early on, and we're actually seeing that Carnifex and MXKX are waiting for him to respawn. NoName has control over the vault on Vegas, and here we go, getting back into the game here. And yeah, so the main thing that's been going on is that when we have this team fight that NoName finally has gotten an upper hand on, they aren't pushing it the way that they need to. And so what ends up happening is that we have MXKX's squad just getting the perfect amount of time to reset up on the top and then take their own advantage. They make their own play out of it.
Yeah, and here we see the double heals coming out, and Noah is able to hold off. They do get hit with the glitch barrel, and they're running around trying to find cover, breaking the zip lines, trying to hold on to this Vault 1. We really do need to see kind of them step up their game, and they are playing a little closer together than previously. Getting the jump pad, running in. Oh, takes a lot of damage from the RPG, but his teammate's able to heal him. This is where the double healers really helps out. They throw down the APS turret. They're jump padding up, and they're able to get a lot of damage. Oh, and they're able to take out MXKX. And are they able to get a second kill? They did trade Noah and Electro. Yeah, great trade there.
So yeah, it ended up coming down to the fact that NoName almost had the upper hand, but again, as soon as NoName gets an advantage, they back off, and I really have to wonder where this is coming from, because it was such a good opportunity for them to take advantage of the fact they had won that team fight, in the sense that there was a heavy down and that they could have pressed forward. But I think that they're just so afraid of getting caught off guard, or stepping
I think we play
away
more
from the
left here.
objective.
I think we play
And
more left
you know,
here.
in most games, you
Yeah.
really do have to focus on the
Play more
objective.
longer
It's
angle here.
PTFO all the
Back
way
up, back
down.
up a bit.
However, when it comes to the finals, people tunnel vision on that. So they tunnel vision on, hey, we need to protect the objective and make sure that nobody, you know, steals the vault from under us. But at the same time, they're not ready for the fact that Grief Party just ran
more
around
left
the
here.
other side. So now we're watching as Grief Party holds up from the top, and NoName, they're trying to come up from height. And Grief Party, they read this, so now they're rotating up from height. And look at this. So now Noah, Atelko, and Vlad, they actually drop through the roof. And they're like, where did Grief Party go? And the height just gets switched off again and again. And check this out. NoName gonna try to go for the steal here. This is exactly what Grief Party wants. NetX goes for the kill onto the heavy, and now they have to spend one medium to go out and go take that. So they immediately pull them away from the cash out. This is exactly what Grief Party wants. And now more members of NoName just go down because Grief Party can't keep up with it. And there we go. It's gonna be a team wipe for, wait a second. No, wait a second. The res on Noah, but no, it's MXKX. Just a little bit faster. One bullet
my
would
God, I
have
just
made the
switched.
difference there.
Fuck me.
Absolutely insane.
Yeah, and they played it really slow, but they did have a nice fight there where both teams kind of converged together.
Blue
And
better
Stas
left,
goes
I will
up,
have
going
blue,
down,
I have blue.
hitting the reses, really
Okay.
risky
I
reses
think-
too.
I think
I
we
was
played
pretty
the
shocked
long
that
angle again, honestly.
Noah went for
think?
one of them, but he did
Like,
bring his
play a long
teammate
angle. They
back,
have
and it
to
did
play
prolong
point.
that
Yeah,
fight.
that's what I'm saying.
Unfortunately, they
I
weren't
will
able to
be
get it.
breaking
Now they're
bubbles
kind
and
of stuck in a
everything. Yeah,
situation
I
where
have
I
to.
don't know if they'll have enough time. They're pretty much out of time now, unless they dive on
Yeah,
it
maybe even.
immediately. So I think
I'm
Grief
ready to
Party
play
might take this first point.
Definitely point.
Yeah, they for sure have this cash out. They don't have to worry about that getting taken out from them here. But at the same time, you know, Grief Party, like, they're gonna play it safe. They're gonna do what they can. But it's just insane the fact that NoName
Good team shots.
can't read that that's not gonna happen, right? Like, even if
Yeah, I mean,
they
were
got
not
there
doing
in
it,
time,
to actually work
they
out. I
have
thought
to
they
know
were
it's
dropping
the
much
steal's not
earlier,
gonna
honestly,
happen.
and then we,
And
yeah.
so I'm really,
Like,
really
we put
struggling to
pressure,
understand what
yeah,
NoName's
it was good.
angle
I think
is
we
here,
could've played a bit
given the fact
smoother.
that they got up in this tourney so high, only to just fall from grace so, like, dramatically,
Yeah.
quickly.
He is also good for
Well,
us.
and I'm not sure if you saw that, but the kill feed from MXKX, like, it had kill, elimination, team wipe. You know, he really, he was the powerhouse in that fight. And I'm still surprised that they did take that fight right at the end. Like, there was no hope, and they all just, NoName just dove onto the point and just to be slaughtered, basically. So I feel like they're a little flustered, and they're just trying to figure out what they can do, trying some crazy strategies, but not sure now's the time. I would kind of hold back and try and set up something a little more conductive, because yeah, Grief Party is really quite impressive at this point.
Oh, absolutely. And I mean, the biggest thing is that right now, the way that these teams are trying to go about just attempting to take control, there's clearly one way that's working and one way that's not. And I'm just wondering why NoName has not yet figured out that they are genuinely at a disadvantage because of their timing and the way that they're approaching these fights. I mean, we can see that as Grief Party gets ready to start off on Cash Out C, you know, NoName, they just try to follow it directly rather than going through the casino itself, going through the building and trying to cut it off. They're going to try to go from height here. When Grief Party, you know that they're just going to be jump pad RPGing on top of them. We see the nades already coming through, the glitches as well. That means no more healing. But look at this. Even though he can't heal, he's now forced into a reload. And so it's fine because you have another medium here to res, but you just have the entirety of Grief Party inside of your back line, and NoName can't keep up.
We have a pattern.
Yeah, we even saw a melee kill there from
we have any gas?
yeah,
Any gas?
Carpanex.
I've got
He was
some.
able to just get
Yes,
right
yes,
in
yes.
his business and kind of take him out. And it looks like Grief Party is in a really good spot again. I know I feel like I'm just a broken record at this point. They just get the point and they are able to hold it. I'm not even sure if we've seen a steal
like
yet
somewhere
happen
here.
from
Like on this
NoName on
vent,
this
maybe?
team
Or
or on
the
this side.
ABS?
Yeah, I don't know exactly though.
So
Panic right there.
here we see Grief Party getting set up. They've only got to hold it for, I don't know, about 30 more seconds.
Reload real quick.
and they're just
They might
really
just path here. I'm prepping a path
laying
here.
into it.
They're running in as they can. They're staying together, but at the same time, they don't know where their entry is going to come from. The pad is not going to quite connect. No damage goes through. Carnifex has a really good angle to deal some damage there. MXKX finishes off the heavy. Just 2 mediums left, and the medium is going to be 1 HP as he runs up to try to res the heavy. They have 1 medium isolated on the sideline here. They are not actually going to be able to finish him off just yet. There he goes. 1 medium down, and MXKX is also going to get traded out, but it's not going to be enough. NoName goes all the way out. That's going to be the game. Definitely not enough time to get a steal there. We could say another clean 2-0 for Grief Party as NoName gets shut out
Well,
here.
it is what it is.
Yeah, the teamwork is just what's really impressive to me. Like they know when to spread out, they know when to kind of come together. Grief Party just, boy, they are the team to watch. I am blown away. I would love to see Grief Party against Birds because I think that will really showcase the 2 strong teams that we've had today.
Yeah, absolutely insane stuff here from the teams. I mean, hey, big shout out to Grief Party for, showing up and showing off, and NoName unfortunately getting knocked out 2 2-0s in a row from the winners semifinals all the way out to the bottom here. But I could not think of a better way to have this losers finals here. I mean, hey, Grief Party just really showed up because first off with LRC today, just insane performance. Carnifex really showing up and turning on for the very first time like this is crazy. Then we come up to Grief Party, which, obviously a Grief Party versus No Idea. Strong start because No Idea put up a fight all the way to the very end, and now went from No Idea to NoName, and now Grief Party taking out NoName, really showing us that they are here for the grand finals. And insanely enough, Grief Party from the lower bracket all the way up, they went through the gauntlet and they proved that they're ready for this. So now time for Grief Party versus Burt's up in the next one. Absolutely massive stuff.
Yeah, I honestly don't know who's going to take it. I think if there's ever a match that's going to be going to 3, I think this will be it because both teams have just been on a roll. They both seem to be dominating forces in this game. So if there's ever a game to watch or go back and review, I think that this next one coming up will definitely be a match to remember.
Yeah, so it is insane. So congratulations to Grief Party for this insane run. And we are going to be jumping right into the grand finals action right after this break.